Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Ed Talk. So today I'd like to do another reaction video for you. It's essentially about a man who just realized after 40 years what's most important to him, and I feel will also be very important to you as well. Anyway, let's get into it.
What if I told you I just spent the last 40 years working out where I'm at now? And all those things that you think are important when you were younger, perfect body, the big house, the perfect job, don't really matter. What really matters is what's going on inside you. And I'd like to share with you in the next few minutes what I've learned in the last 40 years. You might ask, where did this come from? Well, 2 years ago, I had to stop work. I'm medically retired now. And that is giving me a lot of time to reflect on my life and where I am today and what is important for me. And I started thinking, where did the time go? What have I achieved? I've done lots of jobs, from doing snow ski tours, to working in bars, to working in off license, and waitering, cooking, you name it. Teaching art, I've done it. But what has been consistent all through my life has been my artwork, my ability to continue following that dream of mine. Not necessarily being financially successful, but doing something that is important to me, that shows who I am as a character and as a human being. And if I could go back in time and talk to my 18-year-old self, I would say the most important things in life for you is time and your health. In fact, I think I put my health above time, because if you haven't got a healthy life, then that really affects the time and what you can do with that time. And another thing I would suggest is don't drink too much or do drugs, because that is going to take time away from you that is unbelievably destructive, and you're never going to get that back. And the older you get, the faster time seems to go. I mean, I immigrated here to the Netherlands 26 years ago, and I can't believe how quickly that time has gone. I see my 2 children growing up, and I wonder what happened to that youth, that time when I was small. I cherish that moment now, and it went so quickly. It was so quick. I mean, before I shifted here, I spent almost 20 years, 15 years I suppose, bouncing around doing odd jobs. But do I regret doing that? No, I don't regret the time I spent doing that. I mean, I didn't have much money, but that didn't seem to bother me so much then. I honestly didn't think I'd get to this age. But the time I've spent jumping from place to place, moving from city to city, it was a wonderful experience when I look back. It was hard, it was fun, it was a bit crazy. But would I change that? No, I don't think I would, because it has made me the person I am today. And if I look back, I don't think I would want to change anything, because it's the experiences I have learned, good and bad, and some very bad, even some that almost took my life. But I think I'm a better person today. And the thing about giving advice to your younger self, Who's going to listen to that? You have to go and experience things yourself. You have to make the mistakes yourself. And from that, you grow. And I'm very content for who I am inside as a human being. I live a very modest life. I'm still married, have been married for almost 30 years. I mean, that's an achievement in itself. Learning to compromise in relationships, learning to give and be a partner, be together. And we brought up 2 wonderful kids. That is an achievement in life, and especially in today's standards where there are so many families being separated. Deep down, we want to be fulfilled. We want to have a sense of purpose. And I think the biggest way really for that, to achieve that, is spend it with your family. The older you get, the more you realise that it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter how you look. If you feel proud within yourself and you have self-respect for yourself, that's what's important. And it's such a relief not having to play that game anymore. You know, I'm lucky I have a drive in me to paint, to be an artist. And that keeps me going. That even as I am sick today, and I can look forward to doing something. I have a goal in my life. That is what I want to achieve. And that's what's important. I think we all need to find that purpose. Mine's painting and my family. That's all that matters to me. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm reaching that target. And with my sickness, I don't know how long I will be able to keep on painting. But at the moment, I will. I enjoy it. It gives me purpose. Because over the last 40 years, I've given my soul, I've given my physical ability, I've worked for other people, and now this time is for me. This time is for really developing who I am. And this is the first time that I've actually been able to just concentrate on my art and not having worried about paying bills. They're always there, but, you know, because we live such a modest life, I can just do what I need to do. No. What is important to me has always been inside me, and I've always been doing it. But now I'm allowed to let it out and let it be in the world, and that is such a nice feeling. I feel I'm finally achieving what my purpose on this planet was to be. And that's liberating. That's fantastic. I think also that, you know, after 40 years, you learn to appreciate the people around you much more. You're willing to give more time for those people that you care about, or even people that you have just met that need help. And you're not after anything in return. It's not transactional, as some leaders might tell you in the world today. It's about who we are as human beings and the importance of being able to live together. The more we work together, the better this planet is going to be. But it's got to start at home, and it's got to start in your community, and then it's got to spread. And hopefully we can do that. So how do I sum up 40 years in just a few minutes? Look after yourself. Don't drink too much. Don't do drugs too much. Take care of your health, and you'll have much more time ahead of you. and enjoy that time and share that time with people you love. Because at the end of the day, that's what's most important. And remember, if you really like this, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Okay, wow, there is so much to unravel from this video, but you know what? I really do think the video speaks for itself. In short, I'm just going to say, if you're in your 40s, in your 50s or 60s, you know exactly what it is that he's talking about. And you know exactly what you're feeling. He touches on so many important matters in this one less than 10-minute video that's hitting a lot of us right now, including myself. I find myself waking up every day thinking of ways to spend more time with my wife and my daughter and my dog. But work gets a hold of you and you don't always have that opportunity. But a work balance life, if you can't exactly retire now, is probably the most important thing you can try starting to do. You know, the other day I told my wife, stop working the overtime. Just don't do it anymore. I mean, yes, we could use the funds. Yes, we could use the help. But I see that she's healthier looking and just healthier all the way around by just not working so many hours. And the work she has is no easy job. She's on her feet all day. You guys out there have jobs where you're on your feet all day, 14 hours a day. From the time she gets up until the time she gets home, she's on her feet 14 hours a day. So if spending time with your family and being healthy means sacrificing some of the luxuries that you're used to having, then you need to consider that. Especially if you're at the age where time is just passing you by like it did this man here. I mean, he seemed to have found more where his purpose was leading after he had got medically diagnosed, which is unfortunate. But you know what? It's a reality that a lot of us tend to face. In fact, I have a friend who went through chemo and he was on his deathbed. And I'll be very honest with you. I hear more from him now than I've ever heard from him prior to his cancer. Like, he wants to call me more. He wants to have conversation and he enjoys it, and I can tell. And I enjoy it too. But he sees the value of our friendship even more so now than he did when we were kids. And we've been friends for 40 years. So a lot of times we get older and we discover that the time that we left behind is more important to us now than it ever has been. We all have goals. I get that. But let's not set aside the most important things to pursue those goals. I am guilty of doing that. And my wife has to bring me down to earth again and ground me. And she's the only one that tells me, hey, we have a home, we have transportation, we have jobs, and we have God. What more could you want? Of course, our health being at the top of that. Do you find more value in your friends now? Do you seek to do more for people because you want to help? I know that I don't do as much for others as I used to because my time is limited. And like he said, I can now give myself more time to do the things that I've wanted to do. He pursues his art. I'm also an artist, but I don't know what type of artist he is, but I'm a writer. I've always wanted to be a writer. And I never got to the place where I wanted to be in that skill or that work. And I've done a lot of jobs. In fact, I would say probably every job I've ever had, I didn't like. Now, I ran my own company for 15 years, but I didn't like that either. I was always doing something just to draw an income, not because I enjoyed it. And it was to take care of my family, especially later in life, you know. I had responsibilities just like a lot of us do. So we do what we have to do to get to the next day, to get to the next month. And then by the time we reach our 50s, we look back and go, all I remember is the struggle. Where was the good times? Well, they were there. Probably didn't have as many good times as you had in struggle, but you remember them and you learn from them. And one day I'd like to talk more about my life growing up and the projects and my transition to a better place, but it won't be in this video. So, if I, like he said, you know, if he had any lasting advice to give, you know, he mentions to don't be hard on yourself. Learn from your mistakes. And understand that every breathing moment that we have is an important one. If you find any value in this video, I would ask that you help me with my dream by being able to like this video. If you want me to share more content like it, maybe subscribe, and I'll put a link of this guy's video in the description in case you'd like to follow him. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.